Welcome to the showcase. There's no other channel like this one, as you know. I interview entertainers because I believe entertainers and people like to know about how they achieved their success. I make these videos for you. All I ask you to do is watch, share and like. Helps the channel grow. These acts come on here, give their time for your entertainment. So that's all I ask. Thumbs up, like and share. Our next guest is a girl that's been busy. I've been trying to collar her down for a few months. Finally got her and I'm really pleased about that. So thank you for coming on the show, Stacy Green.
Hello Sean. Hello everyone.
Stacey, what an amazing look you have with the beautiful hair and earrings. Great fashion.
Typical me walking around, yeah, so it's what you get.
Good. Now, Stacey has 3 amazing tributes, and we're going to focus on those this evening. But I'm going to ask Stacey to tell us how she got into the business and what got started, please.
Yeah, so I've been in the business a long time doing various things, and I started off at high school doing the band thing, singing, all-girl band, playing guitar, all that stuff that's quite popular now. And then I went to be a solo singer, and then everyone told me that I sounded like Cher. So that's how I got into being an actual tribute, and that's how it started. That was my first tribute, and she's still around. Cher is still do a few gigs to Cher. Obviously, it takes a lot more makeup and wigs and stuff like that. I call it my drag face. But then that kind of spiraled, and I started doing a Pink tribute where I cut my hair short like this, and then everyone kept going, "You look like that lady from that singer in the 80s." I was like, "Yeah, that would be Annie Lennox." That's how that one happened. So. Yeah, my face determined that one particularly.
You do. You have got the similarities.
Yeah,
nice.
It was kind of inevitable because I look like my mom, and my mom always used to get that she looked like Annie Lennox. She's the same age as Annie Lennox as well. So
wow. And you can't beat a bit of Eurythmics, can you? That's fantastic. Going back to your musicianship, I see a guitar on your wall.
yes,
So you play guitar fluently or moderately?
pretty well. I mean, I'm okay. I used to play a lot of lead guitar. As you can see, I'm an electric guitar girl, not an acoustic guitar girl, really. But I used to be a lead guitarist for what it's worth. I haven't played properly for a long time, though, so I'm a bit rusty nowadays.
Yeah, you've got to keep you've got to keep the fingers moving, haven't you? So, do you play any other instruments, Stacey?
I've dabbled with other instruments. I played a bit of piano, keyboards, can play a bit of a drum beat, that sort of thing. I did start off before I went to guitar on a bass. So I've played a few instruments really, and way back in primary school, played a violin very badly.
Yeah. Now, I don't know whether I'm right. You might have to correct me, but I think I saw you on another podcast. Is that correct?
Yeah, I did another podcast a while ago with Matt Black.
That's it. Yeah, I watched it.
My bass player stroke guitarist with me. He's a terror. So he had lots of fun.
Yeah, Matt Black is also a singer, isn't he? Because he's promoting a lot of his singing stuff now. So, that's great. Good old Matt Black. So tell us about this Cher tribute. So wait a minute, we'll put the video on now.
Just a dream. Do you believe in love after love? I feel something inside. I really don't think strong enough. Do you believe in love after love? I feel something inside. I really don't think strong enough.
So tell us about your Cher.
Yeah, so I think I've been doing Cher for 15, nearly 16 years now. Yeah, just about. Yeah, it's quite a long time, really. It's gone really quick. So I don't do Cher as much as I used to. because the other two tributes are my main thing that have taken over really. But we've been doing a few gigs as a band. All the costumes, it's quite elaborate being a Cher tribute. There's a lot of costumes, and you have to get it really right because like she's very specific with the looks and the wigs and everything. It's very costume specific to particular songs as well. So it's very flamboyant, Cher is. But yeah.
Very erotic as well.
Yes. Yeah, there's probably less material in some of the tributes that I do, yes.
Can imagine. Was it challenging trying to, imitate somebody to an exact perfection?
Yeah, I think obviously getting into being a tribute, it was a whole new concept really. So it takes a process of like, learning as you do it. And it's sort of, I've almost found the actual speaking in between songs a little bit more tricky to start with. That you have to get your head around talking in a different accent and not sounding too silly at the same time. So there's lots of things to consider and think about when you walk out on stage. But I think the more you do something, the more the process becomes more streamlined.
Do you know, Stacey, some tribute acts tell me that they don't really bother with the speaking part because they focus on the singing. Do you think that's important?
I do. For me, as a tribute, I want to give the audience, even if it's like an hour's set, it's the illusion that for an hour you're watching Cher or whoever I'm impersonating. So that's, to me, is I've got to pretend to be the person. Because if I'm flitting in and out between being myself talking like this, it kind of ruins the whole illusion. If you've gone the whole hog with the wigs and the costumes and the singing, you kind of ruin the illusion by talking like this. So I think it's very important. And yeah, I've had to learn a few accents over the years because obviously Annie Lennox is Scottish. So, and Cher's accent is obviously American, as is Pink, but they're quite different accents really. So it's a sort of thing you have to work at.
Do you always work with your band or do you do any solo?
I work mostly with my band now, which is exactly what I wanted to do. Because obviously, I said earlier, my start in music was really in bands and being in a band. So it's kind of where I'm at home, really. But I do still the odd, solo gig here and there. Sometimes there's a festival or something that it's just comes down to it suits it better. It's more logical to be a solo. But I always want to be with the lads and the band. Yeah, there's nothing can beat that. So
that feeling when you're on stage and you can feel the live music or the bum note or the drummer that's going crazy. There's nothing better, is there, Stacey?
No, I love it. And it's the banter between us all. We have a laugh and take the pick out of each other's.
Whereas when you go on solo, you've got your backing tracks, which are 100% perfect. There's no mistakes, nothing.
Yeah.
So really it shows you if you do make a mistake, whereas when you're working with a band, you can get away with a lot more.
Yes, definitely. And like I say, with my Pink band, we're a completely live act. It's completely live. So if I go off on a tangent and do something crazy, like we do in the middle of one song we do, I'll start doing a conga or I'll start doing a Mexican wave or I'll start doing something crazy. So they just go with the craziness and can be that fluid with it. So yeah.
So out of the three tributes that you do, which one gets the most work?
So yeah, usually people ask me this question, or which one's your favourite? It's Pink that gets the most work. She's the most popular. She's been around for like 20 odd years now, and she's kind of got to a bit of a legend status, but she's still quite modern. So it's kind of a nice hybrid in between, age ranges, because at the shows we get like 8-year-olds. I think we've had 5-year-olds at our show, all the way up until like 70-year-olds or 80-year-olds. It's very varied in that sense. So Pink gets the most interest. And then, the Eurythmics band has really picked up steam and is working really well. So those, like I say, those are the two that are kind of the forerunners for me. Yeah.
Let's mark here now. Let's watch your Eurythmics.
Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them want to be abused.
Right, so Eurythmics. Tell me about Annie Lennox.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, I got pestered to do Annie Lennox because
Mhm.
all my singer friends are just random people who'd see me and go like, "Oh, you look like Annie, you look like that lady, you know, you really look like her." And I think naturally when my hair's flatter and I haven't got too much makeup on, I naturally do look like Annie Lennox. Sometimes it's a bit freaky if you look in the mirror. You're like, oh, there's there she is today. So I got kind of pestered because I didn't want to take on a sort of third tribute, and I put it off because I'm like, oh, I don't really sing the way Annie Lennox sings because she's very operatic almost and theatrical and sort of falsetto head voice. And I'm very much of a rock, like, you know, power sort of let them have it sort of vocalist. So I did have to really learn a lot about my vocal, which is great because I've started using different parts of my voice, and have really strengthened different, you know, parts of my voice to do the Annie Lennox. But she's a lot of fun because she's so different to me and to what I do, and she's very theatrical and she's like crazy faces and hand movements, and I really enjoyed the sort of getting into the character role of doing the Annie Lennox. And I started doing it as a solo, which I felt was a bit weird. And then I got a guitarist on board, and then very quickly we decided let's go for the whole hog and go and make it a band because I had a promoter who was interested in it as a band. So
Wow.
that's the real reason I kind of pursued it as a band really, and built
Annie,
the whole show.
sorry for interrupting you. At the moment, the 80s seems to be right in your face at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. It's been popular for ages, yeah. And I think when you say Annie Lennox or Eurythmics, that people aren't too sure whether they know the songs, and but there's so many songs that when you hear them, you know them. I mean, obviously, Sweet Dreams is the biggest one, and it was really difficult to get people to connect the Eurythmics with Annie Lennox because I think people don't remember or realize that she's part of the Eurythmics. So it was trying to get that across is difficult, firstly, and then trying to say, you know, you do know these songs. I mean, obviously, there's a lot like Sweet Dreams is a massive song, but you know, Must Be an Angel, Thorn in My Side. I mean, we could do 2 hours really and more, and people would still know
Yeah.
most of them. And she's done covers and solo stuff that we do, and we do the tourists as well.
So, do you go out with your mum much?
So she comes to the odd gig, and obviously if we're out and about, people do get confused because we look almost identical.
Wow.
Some people do a double take, or like if they bumped into me before they've seen me somewhere and they know me, that they'll think that it's me.
Crazy. And you, obviously your mum's quite proud of what you do and she follows you.
Yeah, definitely. There's a little photograph there behind me of my mum and dad. So I don't know if you can see that.
It's very small.
I can go and fetch it. You can see that I look just like.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
Let's go and get it off.
Stacey, would you say you're kind of like more like a toy boy?
A tomboy. I am a
Tomboy.
bit, but I'm also very girly at the same time, which is it's
Okay.
a weird thing. But here we go. Here's if you can see.
Right, that's lovely. Wow.
So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
my
can
mum.
see,
My
yeah.
my dad, obviously, but yeah.
Wow. Is that before you came along?
Yes, definitely. That's in the 70s.
Wow. 70s chicks. That's fantastic, that. So we've kind of like spoke about Cher, and we've gone on to the Eurythmics. Do you work with the Eurythmics with your band as well?
Yes, so
Same
yes,
band?
it's the Cher and the Eurythmics are pretty much the same band, but my Pink band is a completely different set of people. Yeah.
Okay, let's watch the Pink video.
What about us? What about all the times you said you had the answers? What about us? What about all the broken happy ever afters? Oh yeah, what about?
Right. So we've spoke about Cher, we spoke about Annie Lennox and the band, and we're now going to talk about Pink, which people can see straight away. You've got that striking looks, very popular. Pink always has been. There's a fair few tributes
Yes,
about.
yeah. I've definitely seen an influx in the last year or so as well of more coming through. She's been on a massive tour, and this is what I'm wearing at the
Ah,
minute is what I got from her last tour because I've seen her 3 times. Saw her twice on this tour because it came back round. So
yeah.
yeah, there's been an influx of popularity perhaps as well.
So would you say Pink is your kind of thing?
Yeah, I think that was the guilty reason for me doing Pink because I was a fan and I liked her stuff. And I think if I was to be my own artist, it's most closely what Pink would be because it's kind of, I'm a rock, like I said earlier, I like my rock music. I'm kind of a power rock vocalist, but like I'm kind of like a bit pop as well. So I think if I was to be some kind of artist, it's mostly like her really. And I think that's what I identify and connected with. And she always writes a song that really is perfect for what I'm going through or feeling at that time as well. It's almost like there's kind of a progression there as well.
Is Pink, where's she from? Which country?
She's she supports Philly, so she's from that area. I think she's a Philly supporter, so yeah, she'll be around there.
So you said that with your Pink tribute, you have a different band members.
Yes.
Why is that?
Well, the Pink band was the band I kind of got together before anything else, really band wise. So I had some gigs that came up, and they were like, "Oh, can you do that with a band?" I was like, "Right, okay, yeah, fine." I didn't have a band; I was just said yes. And then I went like, I was like, "Oh, I need some musicians." Blah blah blah. Dan, my bass player, came forward and he went, "Well, my band will do that." So it was kind of like they were a unit, and we joined forces basically, and we've stuck together since. But they didn't want to take on anything else at the time when the other sort of thing came up. And my Eurythmics band is actually consists of a lot of people I've known over a long time, including my own music teachers. It's kind of a full circle band, that really. But yeah, my Pink guys are, we're all of a similar age, and they came as a unit. They're very good at what they do.
Is there enough work to work with you and the band? Because the cost must be astronomical.
Yeah, obviously it costs more to have a band on, obviously, but I think it opens up a lot more avenues and a lot more doors because, like I say, the theatre work, I do a lot of theatre work, and really, you need to be in some sort of band or have some functioning band, or people you can call on at least to turn up and do that for you. So it's kind of really opened up some different venues and different avenues, and like a lot of live music venues that I used to do back in the day with bands and stuff. They don't really have solos on, so again, you're more likely to work those places as a band.
Are you kind of like working every week?
Yeah, yeah.
2 or 3 nights?
Yeah, usually 2 or 3, sometimes more. Yeah, it depends on I mean, last August, I think I did out of 36 days, I did 30 days. I was going a bit crazy by the end of August.
So how do you get your work, Stacey? Are you managed?
I used to be. I've been direct now for 2 or nearly 3 years. And so I know a lot of agents over the time I've been doing this. A lot of agents, get in touch. And I've obviously got a lot of contacts with promoters and just generally, as acts in the business, you make friends with other acts and they recommend you and you recommend them. And it's kind of nice when that happens because, it's like one big family almost when that happens.
Is it best being managed or working for an agent, or is it best booking
It
yourself?
has benefits being managed. I mean, it makes your life a bit simpler. They kind of do all the sort of legwork, if you like. But like, I still found that I was doing, my stuff myself, in terms of like organising what I wanted to do and videos and costumes and all that stuff. So it swings around. Right, it suits some people, it doesn't suit other people. It worked well for me for a time, but then it kind of got awkward because of clashing dates and stuff like that. And one person wanted to do this and the other person wants to do that. So it just worked out better, to just keep control of what I was doing, considering I've got 2 or 3 acts kind of happening at the same time.
And the musicians in the band, do they come and go, or do they stay with you?
They stay with me. And I think that's the really good thing about my units, my 2 bands. And it's kind of like I say, from being in a band younger, it was always that thing of like you stick together, you've got loyalty to each other, you're a team really. And that's how I like to to operate with the bands is like we're a team. There are a couple of times when we have, particularly the Eurythmics, we've got a guy on who's a dep, and he's like the permanent dep. So if the bass player can't do it, he's the person who fills in, and we don't really look anywhere else really. So we've got a couple of people who might dep, but that's it really. We usually make sure everyone can do the date, and we go, and that's it. We do it together. So.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
And
I know
what's the
not everyone operates like that. Some people have a pool of people that they use, but I like to keep it, as a team.
Hope you don't mind me asking this, but many girls who work with a band usually is in a relationship with one of the band. You don't mix.
No,
No.
no,
It doesn't work.
it's trouble.
It is. So what's the biggest venue you've done, Stacey?
Gosh, I've done loads of great venues. We do a lot of lovely theatres. I mean, we've just recently done Billingham Theatre, and that was like we had 650 odd people in. And we've done festivals when there's been thousands of people, like 10,000, 12,000 people, something like that. So it just varies. But then you can get a gig where there's like 5 or 10 people in. So it's just how it works, isn't it? But, we do some really nice big venues, the theatres that we do and the festivals that we do mostly consists of our work and some live music venues.
Do they treat you like nice people when you do these big venues,
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's vice versa, because they have a tech crew and tech people. So, you kind of muck in and work together, really. And that's the way it operates.
It seems to be there's a lot of big festivals nowadays. Do you like doing those?
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to do more of them. If there's anyone who wants to bring some festivals my way, definitely, because they are such great fun. And we do a sort of string of festivals for UK festivals, and they have like 5 or 6 different ones, and they're always so much fun. And the backstage is always so much fun. They got me on a buggy, one of those like golf buggies they run around to collect stuff. I always end up on the buggy. There's videos of me just driving around with someone driving it and me hanging onto these buggies. There's lots of
Have you done Tribfest?
No, not that one. No.
Okay.
Yeah, so if they're interested, we can do that. We've done like the big Plymouth festival. Was it last year or the year before? We've done the UK festivals.
Okay.
We did quite a few. We did Rock the Moat in May. That was nice. That was a good big festival. So we do quite some nice stuff. Yeah.
My hometown is Hull.
Okay.
Have you been to Hull much?
I don't think we've been as a band. I have been to Hull though. There's not many places I haven't actually been to do a gig.
I can imagine, yeah. Obviously, when I was on the go, when I was a musician and things, most of the work was in the northeast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very busy place. But now, obviously, things change and different places change all the time. If people want to book you, so watching this show now, all you international bookers and agents and everybody or festival organisers, how do you book Stacy Green?
So, yeah, I've got a website, I've got email, Facebook. So it's Stacy Green, and it's Stacey without an E, just so. And there's a funny story as to why I got a Stacey without an E, which I could tell. So my email is stacygreen@blueyonder.co.uk, which is a bit of an old email, but blueyonder.co.uk is the best place to get me. But you can look me up on Facebook as any.
Is that for all 3 acts then?
Yeah, definitely. That's my main hub of where I go to for inquiries. And I've got a website which is stacytherockchick.co.uk, and all the information of my shows are on there. And we're currently going to be building a website for the Pink Show on its own. So that will be coming soon. But yeah, Facebook, Stacy Green and whichever act you'll find me. If you type that in, you'll find me. So
okay, what about YouTube?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube, Stacey Music TV, and there's some original stuff on there as well as my tribute stuff. So that could be interesting if you want to watch that as well as some great.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
Have you ever done any original stuff?
Yeah, plenty. I mean, obviously, back in the day when I started, that was kind of what we were doing, and we kind of almost had a record deal and everything like that. So yeah, Mick Hughes, who's Metallica's sound engineer, was very interested in us at the time, but it didn't come off, all things fell apart and all that stuff. But we used to write songs. Then again, in my 20s, I wrote songs. And then during lockdown, I teamed up. That's kind of how the Eurythmics thing came together with Rob Lloyd. He came on board and we did a lot of stuff together, and that's on my YouTube. And then that got the ball rolling on doing the Eurythmics because he's my Dave Stewart. So
wow.
All on YouTube.
That's awesome. Now, I can't go Stacey because you've got me intrigued going with the Stacey without the E. I want to know.
So my mum, the picture that you just saw,
Yeah.
she really liked the name of an actress that was in the TV series Black Beauty, and
Oh, I remember that.
the actress's name was Stacey Andrews, I think it was, and it was Stacey without an E, so that's why she liked that name. And I'm Stacey without an E. Consequently, I absolutely loved Black Beauty, the TV series.
Me too. The big black horse. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was cool. Used to come home after school. The Black Beauty would be a
Yeah,
bird. Yeah, I remember it
great
well.
music. It's
Yeah, fantastic. So that, you know, Stacey, we've had a great chat about all three of your amazing tributes that you do. I hope that people watching this will either pass Stacey's information on, because it's all about, well, let me tell you two things. Watching this show for budding entrepreneurs who want to be a singer, want to be a tribute act, you've watched Stacey, you can decide whether it's the right thing to do for you or not. For all the bookers that are on here, hope the intention is that at some point people can see artists and book them because what they've said and what they've seen on the video. So it all comes together nicely. And I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'd like to thank Stacey for her time today.
Thank you.
And yeah, it's been great, Stacey. I look forward to putting the video together and putting all the captions and the videos that the three videos that we're going to have on here. So all the information for booking Stacey is also on here. Last words from you, Stacey.
Yeah, so I really hope you enjoy watching the little videos and maybe go and investigate what I do. Maybe catch you at a show, because that's what it's all about. People coming to actually see it and see what it's about. I think it's always better to see somebody live. You get the better energy and the better feel for what someone does. So, and it's all about supporting live music. So
It is, and you are live. And I'd also like to say, when Stacey's video is on the YouTube, feel free to comment on the information, because it helps the analytics in the YouTube algorithm as well. So it would help Stacey a lot. The more comments you have, where are you playing, which venue, how did you do this, what did you do, you know, who, what, why, when and where, and all the rest of it. So yeah, and I'm sure Stacey would enjoy reading your comments. So on behalf of the showcase, thank you to Stacey. I really enjoyed the chat today, and look forward to bringing you more great content like this. Keep watching. Bye from the showcase.